This is One Sentence News, a daily podcast featuring 3 news stories with a sentence-long summary and 1 sentence of context apiece. I'm Colin Wright. This is a sponsored message. Recently, I started using Anchor as my podcast host. Anchor offers benefits that most other hosts do not. It's free to use, but it also has a collection of tools that allow you to create a podcast completely within the Anchor website or smartphone app. They distribute your show to Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and all the other distribution channels without any additional effort on your part. And you can make money from your podcast without any minimum audience size. So you can use it as a more traditional podcast host like I do, but it's also got everything you need to start a podcast from scratch in one place. If you're keen to give it a shot, download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. It's Wednesday, April 13th, 2022. Let's talk about the news. From the New York Times, Russia-Ukraine War Summary. Slovakia has transferred a missile defense system to Ukraine. France is sending war crimes investigators to Bucha, the scene of alleged war crimes by Russian troops. Japan has said it will expel 8 Russian diplomats and will be phasing out its imports of Russian coal and oil. The British Prime Minister has pledged 120 armored vehicles to Ukraine, alongside other new military aid, and the Ukrainian government is pushing allied nations to seize and sell international Russian assets, including oil tankers, to pay for the rebuilding of Ukrainian cities and infrastructure destroyed by Russians. It's estimated that about $1 trillion in Ukrainian assets have been destroyed by Russia during this invasion thus far. Ukrainian officials are saying that at least 10,000 civilians were killed in Mariupol alone, a city that has seen extremely heavy bombardment from Russian forces over the past several weeks, and which has been almost completely leveled as a consequence. Mariupol is thought to be important to revised Russian invasion plans due to its strategic location, linking the Russian-controlled Crimean Peninsula with the separatist Donbas region in the eastern part of Ukraine. From CNET, first major U.S. city reinstates mask mandate. Philadelphia will be reinstating its lapsed mask mandate on April 18th due to a rise in local COVID infections. Like most other U.S. cities, Philadelphia dropped its mask requirements in indoor public spaces following the peak of the winter Omicron wave. Now that BA.2, an Omicron subvariant that is even more infectious than the very infectious Omicron, has become dominant in the region, however, the local government has decided to stick with their preset guidelines and bring back the mandates until infections are back down to a comfortable range. And from the Associated Press, Oklahoma governor signs bill to make abortion illegal. The governor of Oklahoma has signed into law a bill that criminalizes performing an abortion, making the procedure punishable by up to 10 years in prison and a $100,000 fine. This bill will likely see legal pushback before it goes into effect, but it's scheduled to become law 90 days after the state legislature adjourns in May, and it's only the most recent of several anti-abortion laws to be passed in heavily conservative U.S. states over the past several months. Those similar laws, recently signed in Arkansas and Alabama, have been blocked by federal courts, as abortion is legal at the federal level in the United States. If you're finding some value in One Sentence News, consider leaving a quick review wherever you get your podcasts and/or sharing the show with a friend. You can find out more about this show or subscribe to the email version at onesentencenews.com. And you can support this and other related projects, like the Let's Know Things and Brain Lenses podcasts, at understandery.com.